Happy Saturday. I'm over at the plot. Let's check it out.
So I mentioned that I am early this year. Last year was my first year in the garden, and the first community sort of garden day is it's in a couple of weeks. But the garden officially opened March 1st. So let's see the progress that happened today. I came up and I noticed yesterday, it's going to be 80 degrees here today, over 80. It was 80 yesterday, but it's also going to be 35 on Tuesday overnight. So this is still crazy Maryland weather where it's free. Yesterday it was cold and like misty in the morning. It was like 50 degrees and it felt colder than that. And then the sun came out and it was 80 by the time it was 2 or 3 o'clock. So I don't know what's going on, but right now what it's doing, the cover, it's protecting that back side of my garden from my neighbors, who you can see that all of my neighbors here are not weeding their garden. All of these weeds have gone to flower and seed. Today I just shaved this like a foot inside and pulled all of this inside of my neighbor's plot just to keep it off of mine, and I hope they're okay with it. So I noticed in all the heat that the collard greens are bolting. So I thought this year, I didn't do it last year, but I thought this year would be a good season to experiment with seed collecting. So what I did was I pulled all of the collard greens out. They're over there. I'm going to take those home and cook them up. But I pulled everything out that wasn't bolting, grabbed all the big leaves off of it, and decided for the ones that are bolting, I'm just going to let them go to seed and see if I can do some seed collecting. Now this here, I put these in earlier this week. This was a red onion that started sprouting, and so I put it in some water and grew some roots. And then I went and looked on the internet. Oh, there's a nice big millipede over there. I went on the internet and followed the directions of how to go in, separate the onion out. And again, this right here is a exercise in seed collecting. So these red onions will not grow actual onions underneath to eat, but I'm going to see if these, if they produce any flowers and go to seed, so I can collect the seeds and try to grow them. So over here is my section where I put in starter onions, the little baby ones, and they're growing nicely. I put some leeks in here. I can't tell if they're coming up or not. I'm just going to leave that alone and see what happens. I'm going to keep that watered. And I covered it in some straw because, again, some of these days it's so hot and sunny that I can't get over here. And the water's not on in the garden yet. So I have to either drag some from home or, I don't want to take all of the water that we're collecting from the rain in case there's any other gardeners around. I seeded some onions from seed in this section. They're not coming up, but I did put in some baby cauliflower and broccoli, and they're all taking root and doing really well under this cover. A couple of them didn't make it. There was one over here that didn't make it. This one's not too happy. So my arugula is coming up. My lettuces are coming up. I've got some onions in between there. All this is doing really well. You can see my broccoli are starting to take off. I put some peas in here that you guys from the last video, the squirrels dug them all out. So I reseeded this area with kale and got that watered in. I'm coming up here every day to make sure there's a nice spicy cayenne blend, and I reseeded some peas in here yesterday. So we'll see how that works. I added some more. You can see here that this is, these are radishes. So I added a few more radish seeds in here. I planted some borage and marked and labeled those. So there's going to be one here and then one here. And I planted a third borage back here in the corner. As soon as it, probably after Mother's Day, I will take that whole cover off. And by then, hopefully my neighbors will have taken care of their mess behind me. And there's no risk of freezing anymore, so I won't need that there. So I will disassemble this once we get past, average frost date here is April 14th. And so I put in some Swiss chard along here, and that is coming up nicely. And I put the borage at the end, and I left that little sunflower for the bees. So we're doing okay. Before I leave, I'm going to, I don't know what happened here. I probably did that. Try to train some of these peas onto this trellis here. Make sure they get a good start to their life until they climb up these cages. I put spinach underneath because they can tolerate a bunch of shade. Hopefully they won't get 100% shaded out by the peas. I don't think they get that tall. So we'll see how that goes. But this is my little plot. Everything's going really nicely. I weeded last winter, so I haven't done a whole lot of weeding in my plot. But you can see my neighbors, and then these people here, and then look at this one. So a lot of the plots look like this at this time of year. My plot's looking good. Don't be afraid to start early. Take care.